Hi programmers. Today I was wanting us to start on that button to click this one here, create records, and you can go ahead and do that if you want. You just come over here to the properties section, and if you double click this, it'll create you your method that you're going to do. But first, whenever I started working on it, you can see down here I commented it out. I realized that we had yet more redundant code that we had to get rid of. It's just really poor programming to have all these retyped paragraphs over and over again, because believe you me, I know from experience, someone will come in and they'll say, I need to do this way now instead of the old way, and you have all these places that you have to change it. So it's better just to have everything in one spot. So what I did was I'm going to try to get this all in one box, so I'm going to pull these down for you so you can see more. And I created one method called last seg, and it returns an integer, and that is the last segment that it's read. And for a second I thought about doing all of these, the calculate hours and the get the last seg and the get the last in out all in one spot. But there's some occasions that I don't need all of them, and it was just easier to return what I wanted, and it really doesn't take that long to do a database call, and that way I just do the one thing that we need to do. So we started off with a get last seg. I started off with get, but then I changed the name, and all it does is a database read. You send it a string of the PREID and an integer of the week that you want, and it goes and does the database read for those. And you can copy the old code in there and modify it. That's what I did. And then when it does the read, I initialize it to 0 in quotes. And if it gets it, it'll convert it to a string. And then when it's done with the method, it sends it back. I'm going to get rid of that line. And so then you have that in a string format. And if it did not read one, it defaults to this one that we initialized up here, 0 in quotes. And then the second method was called last in out, and so that's to tell you whether the last time they clocked in or out. And so we did the same thing. We passed it a PREID and the week, and then we did the database read, and then we initialized this variable called prev in out, and if it reads it, it puts something in there. Otherwise it doesn't, but whatever it does, it returns what we got, whether it's an in or out or whether it's a space. And this next one, we use this in several places. The calculate hours worked, but it's a private decimal. Hours worked, and you send it the PREID and the week, and you do your database read just like you did before, and then you had to calculate the hours, whether if it was completed. We'd already done this once, and you used the exact same code. In fact, we did it several places, which we're going to be deleting those other places out. And you return it the time that it came up with. Okay, so we got those three things done, and where we put them was we had this big long database read over here in this PREID text box 1. Well, I got rid of all that, and instead I've got these three calls. I said like decimal total time equals hours worked, and then I passed it the PREID text box 1.text and the PCG week, because those were the fields that were in the original database read. And then I fixed what the hours label was based on what it was in the code. I mean, I kept some of the code, like 3 or 4 lines, but most of it got deleted out. And the next one, we get the previous segment, previous seg, and we run last seg, and we send it PREID text box 1.text and PCG week, and then I save it to a string, and I can delete that out. I hadn't got a chance to study it real good yet, but just to be on the safe side, I went ahead and created a string like that, because I was using one before, and I just to be safe for now, I might delete it later after I get a chance to study it more. And then we found whether we was in or out. We called the last in out string. And so anyway, another thing we had to change, this if statement here, I changed it to if prev seg equals 0. I think it was ix equals 0 because I was counting lines before, and if I didn't see any lines, that meant that this was the first record of the week and you created the first record. And so that's what we did there. And another place that we had to use one of the new procedures was right over here. There was inside the clock in method down at the bottom. You can see I commented out. It was called recalc hours worked, and it was this real long paragraph, basically the exact same code we had typed up front, and we didn't want to do that again. So instead, I'm going to delete this out since I've already tested it and I know it works. And I said decimal time equals hours worked, and I sent it PREID text box 1 and the PCG week, and then with that field I've filled up that recalc label that displays at the bottom of the screen. Anyway, I already tested it, so I know this works, so I'm going to go ahead and delete this out. And I'm going to quit this video, cut, and I'm going to, the next video, we're going to go back to that create button. You know, if you want, we can go ahead and run this. I've already run it a couple times, so I have me some time in here, 1104, and it says I'm out, and I'll work 0.06 of an hour, so I'm going to clock back in. Alrighty, so that's the end of this one, alrighty, and we will see you next time.